Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1991 playoffs in Payoff Pitch Baseball. Tonight, we're about to start the League Championship Series round with Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. Before we get there, let's take a look at the starting brackets as the fans are still filing in to Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Over in the National League, the Los Angeles Dodgers took care of the Atlanta Braves in 4 games, and the Pittsburgh Pirates got by the New York Mets in 4 games. If you've been following the replay, you've kind of got a sense that you knew the National League was going to come down to these two teams, the way they both ran away with their respective divisions. The Dodgers beat the Dodgers beat the Braves by 9 games in the NL West, and the Pirates ran away from the Mets by 23 games in the NL East. As for the American League, neither division winner made it. In fact, the Twins were the only team to get swept in the first round, as the Oakland Athletics managed to sweep the Twins behind the backstop of Dennis Eckersley. Similarly, in the division series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals, Jeff Montgomery, the closer for the Royals, was very much the anchor that got Kansas City into the ALCS. And that's the subject of tonight's Game 1. So, we're all set. Let's go ahead and meet the starting pitcher for the Royals. Starting pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, Kevin Appier, their number 1 starter. 13-10 with a 3.42 ERA, 207 2/3 innings pitched, 205 hits, 13 homers, 61 walks, and 158 strikeouts in 91. I will be resetting the rotations moving forward in the playoffs. And in Game 4, let me see if I've got the score sheet here for the Toronto-Kansas City game. Here we are. Kevin Appier was the winning pitcher in Game 4 to get the Royals into this series. So he'll be getting the ball once again to start Game 1 of the ALCS. With that, let's go meet Oakland's starting pitcher, and we'll take our first look at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Starting pitcher for the Oakland Athletics is Dave Stewart, their number 1 starter. 11-11 with a 5.18 ERA, 226 innings pitched, 245 hits, 24 homers, 105 walks, and 144 strikeouts in 91. As for Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, pitchers park to lefties, neutral leaning very slightly toward pitchers park for righties on a ballpark check in terms of getting to wheelhouse versus in play. Any switch hitters we have tonight will be batting righty to try to take advantage of a less punishing wheelhouse. With that, let's move over to the main game area and set up the shot over there. It's a sea of green and yellow in Oakland tonight. There's not an empty seat to be found. Every single seat is sold at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum for tonight's Game 1. Everything looks good over here. I think we're all set up. So while the last few fans finish finding their seats, let's get ready to play ball. While the Athletics get loose in the field, we'll take our first look at the Royals' starting lineup. Leading off tonight, we've got Kurt Stillwell at shortstop, Bill Pacoda's at third base, Danny Tartabull is in right field, George Brett is your designated hitter, Warren Cromartie is at first base, Jim Eisenreich is in left field, Brent Main is catching, Brian McRae is in center field, and Terry Schumpert is at second base. David Howard got injured in Game 4 of the ALDS against Toronto. He will be out through the entire ALCS and potentially into the World Series if the Royals get that far. And that's the lineup Dave Stewart is charged with keeping in check. Leading off tonight, we've got Kurt Stillwell. He hit 5 of his 6 homers against right-handed pitching in 91. We are going to be using green, yellow, and white dice tonight. The Athletics are the home team. Game 1 of the ALCS. Who will take control of this series, and what story will the dice tell on the way to get there? There's only one way to find out, and the only way to find out is to go to the first pitch. And we are underway at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum with a tough 8 as a tough 31, And Stillwell's going to swing through the high heat for the first strikeout of the inning. Actually, the first strikeout of the day for Stewart, first out in the inning, and we are underway. Here's Bill Pacoda, 4 of his 6 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 43, and just at the top of Pacoda's range, but he'll get a hold of that, just barely beat it out, and that'll be a base hit. Here's Danny Tartable. The infield will go to double play depth. Tartable hit 23 of his 31 homers against right-handed pitching. Pacoda is a C3, which is a normal chance. He'd be a jump of 5 against a hold of 8. Pacoda is going to stay put. Stewart will glance over to Pacoda at first. Stewart will turn back to the plate. He'll get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 72. And against a righty, Tartable will get a hold of that one, and that will be a base hit. Sharpliner drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on first advances 1 base. So Pacoda will find himself at second, and Tartable will be safe at first with a single. And here's George Brett, 8 of his 10 homers coming against right-handed pitching. I should mention that as this is a weeknight game and only game 1 of the series, my fast score house rule will be in effect tonight. So if we go 12 innings, and the score's tied, I'll go to a clutch roll in fast score after that. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. He'll glance over to Pacoda at second, Tartable at first. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 12 is a patient 52. And against a righty, Brett will continue the hit parade with a single of his own. Soft blooper into short right field, and the Royals are going to get on the board. Runner on first advances 1 base. Runner on second scores. So Pacoda will score. Tartable to second. Brett to first on the S9. Pacoda will come in to score. Tartable will go to second. And just like that, the score is already 1-0 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium groans. Ugh. Here's Warren Cromartie. Cromartie hit his only homer against right-handed pitching. Tartable still not a threat to go anywhere on the base paths. Oakland hasn't played since Game 3 of the ALDS with Minnesota, whereas Kansas City has been fighting tooth and nail to try to get here. Could there be a little bit of rust showing for the A's? Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 12 is a patient 94. And that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Coming under that one is going to be Canseco. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Tartable does not have enough run rating to make it to third, so he will hold. Here's Jim Eisenreich, 1 of his 2 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Stewart hoping to get out of the inning with just the 1 run. Glances over to Tartable at second, Brett at first. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a patient 5, and that's going to be ball 4. Curveball will miss the zone, and the bases are full of Royals. Here's Brent Main. Main hit all 3 of his homers against right-handed pitching. A's fans suddenly very nervous. Bases are full of Royals. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. A's fans hoping for a good pitch. Royals fans hoping for a good hit. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 58, and that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Ricky Henderson will get to that one. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Stadium sighs. Phew! 1 run on 3 hits and a walk. Score is now Kansas City 1, Oakland coming to bat. Just making sure I've got my lineup straight here. I do. Okay. While the Royals get loose in the field, we'll take our first look at Oakland's starting lineup for tonight once I get the batters in order. Leading off for Oakland, we've got Mike Gallego at second base, Terry Steinbach catching, Jose Canseco is in right field, Ricky Henderson is in left, Harold Baines is your designated hitter tonight, Dave Henderson is in center field, Ernest Riles is at first base, Walt Weiss is at shortstop, and Vance Law is at third base. And that's the lineup Kevin Appier is going to be facing tonight. Leading off, we've got Mike Gallego, 7 of his 12 home runs coming against right-handed pitching. Appier will look into Maine for the sign. 1-0 Royals, bottom of the first. Appier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough one, and a curveball freezes Gallego for strike 3. That'll be the first out of the inning. Here's Terry Steinbach, 3 of his 6 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Appier will look to Maine for the sign. Appier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 41, and Steinbach's going to swing through, is going to get a piece of a fastball that'll go right back into Maine's glove for the second out of the inning on a third strike foul tip. And here's Jose Canseco, 36 of his 44 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Oakland not happy with what they're seeing so far. The Athletics, though, are only down 1-0, and they've got a lot of power in this lineup. Appier will look to Maine for the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be an in-play 40, and it's going to be lined right to second. Putting up his glove in self-defense is going to be Schumpert as the ball slams into it, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the A's in the bottom of the first. The score is now 1-0 Kansas City after 1. We'll get ready for the top of the second as we'll see the bottom of the Royals order due up next. Stewart finishes his warm-up tosses as stepping into the batter's box for the Royals is Brian McRae. 6 of his 8 homers in 91 coming against right-handed pitching. Stewart looking into Steinbach. 1-0 Royals, top of the second. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a patient 98. It's a fly ball into left field. Ricky Henderson getting under that one, ranging in for that one, but he'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Here's Terry Schumpert, 3 of his 5 homers coming against right-handed pitching. Stewart looking into Steinbach. He will get the sign. Stewart will wind up. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 15, and Schumpert's going to get frozen by a slider for strike 3 for the second out of the inning. That's his second strikeout today. Stewart's second strikeout, that is. Here's Stillwell. Stillwell struck out swinging. Swinging or called? Swinging his first time up. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will set. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 3 is a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense for Oakland. That ball is hit to second base. Going after that one is Gallego. It's a range play. His range is a D, so he's pretty suspect out there. But he's got that one. That'll be a ground ball to second. Gallego will lay out for that one. He'll recover quickly. He'll throw it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the top of the second. Apier now gets his warm-up tosses in as he'll be looking at the middle of the A's order. Leading off the top of the bottom of the second is Ricky Henderson. 10 of his 18 home runs coming against right-handed pitching. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Apier knows he's got to be careful with the middle of this Oakland lineup. Mistakes could very easily end up somewhere out of the stadium. Apier will set. He will wind up. Here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 24, and that's ball 4. Henderson will reach on a leadoff walk. The Royals move to double play depth, as here's Harold Baines. Baines hit 16 of his 20 homers against right-handed pitching. Henderson is a jump of 8 against a hold of 7. He's also a B4, which would be an excellent chance to steal. He's going to try to get the jump. 70 or less gets the jump. The A's are willing to play small ball here. That's a 0. Henderson is off to second on an excellent chance. And he'll be safe, but we've got to check for a possible error against Maine. His error rating is a 3. And he'll make an error on that one. That'll get by hit, that'll get thrown wild, end up in the infield, and Henderson will head to third on the E2. At least I believe higher equal to or... Okay, yep, higher sales. Okay. So Henderson is safe at third on the stolen base and the E2. The infield is going to have to play in to try to keep Henderson from scoring. Decent contact ties this game. Apier looking over to Henderson at third. He'll turn back to Maine at the plate. Apier will get the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 0-0. We're going to have a rare play with men on. Let me find my runners on base tough rare plays. There should be another set of those. Ah, here we are. Got them. All right. '91. Forgets the count and calls ball 4, ball 3. The batter strikes out on the next pitch. Roll a d6. If the result is a 4, the batter argues with the ump about the pitch count and ultimately gets ejected. If the first batter is ejected, the first batter for the current pitching team rolls in his tough section next inning. So we roll a d6. It's not 4, so Baines strikes out, but he's not ejected. We'll call that a called third strike given the nature of the rare play. One out in the inning, and here's Dave Henderson. He hit 17 of his 25 home runs against right-handed pitching. Another one where Apier needs to be careful with him, or else that ball's probably going to end up headed to Mars somewhere. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 10 is a patient 24, and that's going to be ball 4, and Henderson will reach with a one-out walk. Here's Ernest Riles. Riles hit all 5 of his home runs against right-handed pitching. The infield is going to go to double play depth. Riles hits into double play, so they're going to try to get out of the inning with this one. Actually, they're going to play the corners in. They want to keep Henderson from scoring just in case the ball gets hit to one of the corners, but they want to leave the middle open so they can try to turn the double play. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. He'll glance over to both Hendersons on the base paths. Apier will kick. Here's the pitch. 4 is a tough 18, And Riles is going to swing through a curveball for strike 3, trying to do too much with it, tie the game with one swing of the bat, and that will be the second out of the inning. Last chance for the Athletics to get something out of this situation is Walt Weiss. No homers against either side in 91. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Ricky Henderson at third. Dave Henderson at first. Weiss at the plate. Apier will get the sign. He will set. Oakland fans buzzing. They're hoping for a good pitch. Apier will kick, and here is the pitch. 3 is a ballpark check. 19's wheelhouse. Weiss thinks he's got a hold of one. Let's see what he can do with it. What he can do is he can ground that ball to second. Getting to that one is going to be Schumpert. He'll fire it over to first, and that will retire the side. 2 walks, a stolen base, an error, and the Athletics get nothing out of the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. The score will remain 1-0 Kansas City after 2. Top of the third, we'll see the 2-3-4 of Kansas City's order due up next. Stewart finishes his warm-up tosses as leading off the top of the third for the Royals is Bill Pacoda. Pacoda singled his first time up in the first. 1-0 Kansas City. Pitchers' duel seems to be ensuing here. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum buzzing. They know their A's are just a swing of the bat away from getting back into this. Pacoda will wait for the pitch. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. He will wind up. Here's the pitch. 11 is going to be a wheelhouse check. 58 is going to be just a little bit too high. That's going to be a ground ball over to first. Taking that one to the bag himself will be Riles for the first out of the inning. And here's Danny Tartabull. Tartabull singled his first time up. Made it over to third, but he couldn't score from there, as the Royals left the bases loaded in the top of the first. Just like the A's just did, but no, they didn't. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. He will wind up, and here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 77, and that's also going to be just a little bit too high. Instead, Tartabull's going to get under that one and lift that one into center field. Dave Henderson ranging back for that one, but he'll have plenty of room before the track. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. And here's Brett. Brett today is 1 for 1. He drove in the lone Kansas City run today, so far. Stewart looks to Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 74. It's a fly ball into center field. Once again, Dave Henderson ranging to his right this time, but he'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the top of the third. Apier finishes his warm-up tosses as leading off the bottom of the third for the A's will be Vance Law. No homers in 91. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Apier will wind up. Here comes the pitch. 7 is going to be a tough 71, and that's going to be a ground ball over to second. Schumpert will get that one. He'll flip it over to first, and that will be the first out of the inning. And here's Gallego. Gallego struck out looking his first time up. Apier waits for the sign from Maine. Gallego takes his warm-up swings. Apier winds up. Gallego braces. Here's the pitch. That's a cocked die. 7 is going to be a tough 31. And Gallego is going to swing through the curveball for strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Fifth strikeout today for Apier. 2 outs, and here's Steinbach. Steinbach today also struck out swinging his first time up. Apier trying to get the Royals out of the inning with no damage. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be an in-play 42. It's popped up on the infield to short. Coming under that one is going to be Stillwell. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the A's in the bottom of the third. Score remains 1-0 Kansas City after 3. Top of the fourth coming up, and Stewart will be looking at the middle of Kansas City's order, due up next. Stewart finishes up his warm-up tosses as stepping into the batter's box to lead off the top of the fourth is Warren Cromartie. Cromartie today flew out his first time up. Stewart looking into Steinbach for the sign. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum hoping they can hold on. They get the heart of their order due up in the bottom of the fourth. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. He will set. He'll wind up. Here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 79, and that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Dave Henderson, we've been calling his name a lot tonight. He'll get under that one and make the catch for the first out of the inning. Here's Eisenreich. Eisenreich walked his first time up. Stewart looking to Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the wind. Here's the pitch. 11 is a wheelhouse check, 63. He's going to get under that one and lift that one into left field. This time it'll be Ricky Henderson's name we call, ranging to his left, but he'll get that one for the second out of the inning. And here's Brent Maine. Maine flew out his first time up. Stewart looking for a nice, easy 1, 2, 3 inning. He'll get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will wind up, and here's the pitch. 3 is a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense. Where's that one being hit to? That ball is being hit right back to Stewart. It's a possible error chance. His error rating is a 3. And he won't get to that one. That'll be a one-base error on the E1, and Maine will be safe. And the inning continues for Kansas City. And here's McRae. McRae today is 0 for 1. He flew out his first time up. Stewart looking over to Maine. Not a threat to do anything on the base paths, and you wouldn't with 2 outs anyway. Stewart will turn back to McRae. He'll get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 11 is a wheelhouse check, but a 68. He's going to get on top of that one and ground it over to second. Taking that one is going to be Gallego. He'll step on the bag himself, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the error for the Royals as we move into the bottom of the fourth. Where, as threatened, Oakland will have the heart of their order coming up. Apier knows he's got a murderer's row waiting for him coming up in this inning. As stepping into the batter's box to lead off the inning, once I switch my score sheets, will be Jose Canseco. Canseco lined out his first time up. Apier knows if he makes a mistake, that ball is definitely going to Mars. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 3 is a ballpark check. 97 is in play, though. Apier may have dodged a bullet. A 17, that'll be enough for a base hit, and Canseco will make it to first with the leadoff single. Here's Ricky Henderson. Henderson reached on a walk his first time up. Canseco jump of 5 against a hold of 7. They're not going to try it. Henderson's got pretty good power anyway, along with a good eye. Kansas City will move to double play depth, though. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will set. Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum buzzing. They know they've got their strong part of their order due up. Apier will kick. Here's the pitch. 3 is a ballpark check. Uh-oh, Henderson is wheelhouse. He thinks he's got a hold of one. And that will be good for a base hit. Henderson will get a base hit of his own. That's going to be a soft blooper into left field. Runner on first will advance 2 bases. Canseco will find himself at third. As Henderson gets himself onto first now we've got runners at the corners with nobody out, and that will force the corners in for the Royals. As here's Harold Baines. Baines today struck out looking his first time up. Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum on their feet. They know they've got a chance. They've got a big chance to get some runs here. They had an identical situation in the second, but couldn't do anything with it. Apier will get the sign from a very nervous Maine. Apier will set. He will look over at the runners. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be an in-play 88. It's a ground ball to second. Canseco will score because the corners were in, but we need to see if they turn the double play. 7 or less, it's a double play. 2 outs. 2 outs. That'll be Schumpert who will take that one. He'll step on the bag himself. Throw it over to Cromartie at first. That'll be a G4-3 twin killing. But Canseco will score, and this game is tied. Nope, tied. Not Kansas City up 2-0. There we go. Game is tied, but there are 2 outs in the inning. The A's had to give up 2 outs to tie this game. Stadium cheers. Yay! Here's Dave Henderson. Henderson reached on a walk his first time up. The murderer's row continues for the A's. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 12 is a ballpark check. 98's in play, though. But Henderson will continue the inning with a base hit. Henderson reaches with a 2-out single as the score is now tied, and the A's have another base runner. Here's Ernest Riles. Riles struck out swinging, trying to do too much with the last time the A's had runners on the corners. Apier will look over to Henderson at first. Not a threat to do much on the base paths. Apier will turn back to Riles. Apier will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a tough 54, and it's going to be a fly ball into left field. Eisenreich will get under that one, ranging in. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits, and this game is tied. This game is tied at 1 after 4. We're getting ready for the top of the 5th coming up, and looking at the top of Kansas City's order due up next. Stewart will finish his warm-up tosses, as coming in to lead off the top of the 5th of the Royals is Terry Schumpert. Schumpert struck out looking his first time up. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 3 is a defense check. Where's that ball being hit? It's a fly ball into right field. Going after that one is Canseco on a range play. His range is a D. He's got that one, and that'll be a short fly ball into right field. Canseco will come in for that one. He'll be on a dead run for that one. He'll lay out and he'll make the catch. What a play by Canseco, and that's the first out of the inning. stadium cheers at the great play. Yay! Possibly taking away extra bases, but here's Kurt Stillwell. Stillwell today is 0 for 2. Stewart looking into Steinbach for the sign. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum has been loud all night. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 10 is a tough 49, and Stillwell's going to line that one right to the shortstop. Weiss will put up his glove in self-defense as the ball slams into it for the second out of the inning. And here's Pacoda. Pacoda is 1 for 2 tonight. Stewart looking into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 70, and it's going to be a fly ball into right field. Canseco ranging back for that one, but he'll have plenty of grass before the track. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Royals in the top of the 5th as we get ready for the bottom of the 5th, and we'll see the bottom of Oakland's order due up next. Apier will get his warm-up tosses in as leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Athletics will be Walt Weiss. Weiss today is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Apier looking into Maine for the sign. Game is tied. Apier will get the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 4 is a tough 16. Weiss will get frozen by a slider on the outside corner for the strike 3, and that will be Apier's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th strikeout of the day. And here's Vance Law. Law grounded out his first time up. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum still buzzing. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Where's that ball being hit for Kansas City? It's hit to short. Going after that one is going to be Stillwell on a possible error chance. His error rating is a 2. And barely. He will bobble that one. Well, let's see what kind of out it is. It's going to be a ground ball. He will bobble that one, but he'll be able to get it over to first just barely for the second out of the inning. And here's Gallego. Gallego tonight has struck out twice. Apier will look into Maine for the sign. Tie game, bottom of the 5th. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 41. That's going to be grounded right back to Apier. He'll move it over to first with an underhanded throw. That'll be the third out, and the side will be retired. 1, 2, 3 go the A's in the bottom of the 5th. Score is still tied at 1 after 5. Top of the 6th coming up, and we'll be looking at the heart of Kansas City's order due up next. Stewart finishes his warm-up tosses as leading off the top of the 6th is the ever-dangerous Danny Tartabull. Tartabull tonight, though, is 1 for 2 with a single. Stewart knows he's got to be very careful with Tartabull. He's another one where a mistake probably ends up heading to Jupiter somewhere. Stewart will look in at Steinbach for the sign. He will wind up. Here's the pitch. 11 is a wheelhouse 12, and about that trip to Jupiter, boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to left field. Going back for that is Ricky Henderson. He'll be back to the track, back to the wall. Out of space, he'll leap up, and he won't get to that one. That one's actually going to end up in the upper deck somewhere. Home run, Danny Tartabull. And the score is now 2-1 in favor of Kansas City. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's George Brett. Brett tonight is 1 for 2, also with a single. 2-1 Royals, top of the 6th. Game 1 of the ALCS. Royals are looking to steal home field advantage. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 32. Brett's going to get under that just enough to pop that up on the infield over to second base. Gallagher will get under that one, ranging to his right. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Brett just got under that one, and he popped it out to second, so that'll be the first out of the inning. And here's Warren Cromartie. Cromartie tonight is 0 for 2. He's flown out twice. Stewart looking into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 62, and that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Ricky Henderson ranging back for that one. He'll get that one, and that will be the second out of the inning. Here's Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich is 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Let me make sure I adjust my out counter over here. Steinbach will get... not Steinbach. Well, Steinbach will give Stewart the sign. Stewart will set. Steinbach will set up where he wants the pitch. Stewart will wind up. Here's the pitch. 5 is going to be a patient 90. He's not that patient. That's going to be grounded over to second. Gallagher will pick that one up. He'll throw it over to first, and that will retire the side. 1 hit, and one run on 1 hit, a solo homer by Danny Tartable, and the score is now 2-1 Kansas City as we move into the bottom of the 6th, and the 2-3-4 of Oakland's order coming up next. Apier will finish up his warm-up tosses as here comes Terry Steinbach. Steinbach tonight is 0 for 2. Apier knows he's getting into the very dangerous section of the Oakland lineup. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 3 is a ballpark check. 47 is a wheelhouse check. Steinbach thinks he's got a hold of one. And that's going to be hit on the screws, but right at third base, right at Pacoda. He'll make the play on that one for the first out of the inning. Steinbach can't believe he couldn't take that one out of the park. He couldn't tie the game. But here's somebody who can tie the game easily. That would be Canseco. Canseco today is 1 for 2 with a single. Apier, knowing he has to be careful with this section of the lineup. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 2 is a wheelhouse check, 81, and this game is tied. Boom! High, deep, gone. Home run, Jose Canseco. And the score now is once again tied at 2. Stadium cheers. Yay! Canseco says, Tartable, you can do that? I can do that too. Apier pitched him a meatball and he turned it into pizza. Here's Ricky Henderson. Henderson is 1 for 1 with a single, a walk, and a stolen base. Game tied at 2. Bottom of the 6th. Game 1 of the ALCS. Apier, looking like he's got to have a short memory here. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 4 is a tough 83, and that's going to be grounded over to short. Stillwell will get to that one. He'll fire it over to first for the second out of the inning. And here's Harold Baines. Baines tonight is 0 for 2. He struck out and hit into a double play. Apier will look in at Maine for the sign. Apier will wind up. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be an in-play 62. That's a fly ball into left field. Eisenreich ranging to his right for that one. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo homer by Canseco, and this game is tied at 2 after 6. Top of the 7th coming up, and we'll be looking at the bottom of Kansas City's order due up next. We're going to get activity in both bullpens, as Oakland is going to get Joe Klink warming up and Kansas City is going to get Mike Magnante warming up. Anyway, Stewart will finish his warm-up tosses, as leading off the top of the 7th for Kansas City will be Brent Mayne. Mayne is 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the 4th. Game tied at 2 on a pair of solo shots. One by Tartabull for the Royals and by Canseco for the A's. Game 1 of the ALCS. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 19, and Mayne will start this inning with a base hit. He'll get the first, he'll make it on the first with a leadoff single. And here's McRae. McRae is 0 for 2. The A's are going to go to double play depth. Mayne is not really a threat to do much of anything on the base paths. Stewart will look over to Mayne at first. Stewart will get the sign from Steinbach. McRae takes his warm-up swings. Stewart will set. McRae will brace for the pitch. Stewart will kick, and he will pitch. 2 is a patient 34, and against a righty, McRae will get a hold of that one, and that will be a base hit. Sharp liner drops in front of the left fielder. Runner on first advances 1 base. So Mayne to second, McRae to first. And suddenly the Royals have something cooking. First and second with nobody out. Here's Schumpert. Schumpert today is 0 for 2. The infield will stay at double play depth. Stewart looking into Steinbach for the sign. A's fans are slightly nervous. They're hoping for a good pitch to keep out of a dangerous situation. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 10 is a tough 98. It's a fly ball into left field. Getting after that one is going to be Ricky Henderson. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Mayne would be a base running rating of 4 to try to advance to third. He's going to stay put. Here's Stillwell. Stillwell is 0 for 3 today. Stewart trying to get out of trouble in the top of the 7th. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 67, and that's going to be a ground ball over to second. Coming after that one is Gallego, but can they turn the double play? We'll find out here if they can get out of the inning. It's going to be a 6 or less on 2D6. No! Mayne will make third. McRae will be thrown out at second. Stillwell will make it to first, but there will be 2 outs in the inning. So it's going to be... Actually, he'll step on the bag himself on a fielder's choice. So Mayne made third. McRae's thrown out. And Stillwell is at first on the fielder's choice. Here's Pacoda. Pacoda is 1 for 2 with a single, and he scored the first Kansas City run. Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum buzzing. They're hoping for a good pitch to get out of the inning. Stewart will look into Steinbach for the sign. He'll glance over to Mayne at third. Stillwell at first. Stewart will turn back to Steinbach at the plate. He will get the sign. Stewart will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 18, and Pacoda will swing through a changeup for strike 3, and that will retire the side. 2 hits, but the Royals can't do anything with it, and the score remains tied at 2, heading into the bottom of the 7th. We are at the 7th inning stretch. As usual, I will not torture you guys with my rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I will, however, give a quick stretch. I'll feel that one tomorrow. Oakland now is looking at the middle bottom of their order. Apier will finish his warm-up tosses, as stepping into the batter's box is Dave Henderson. Henderson today is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Apier will get the sign from Maine. Henderson will take his warm-up swings. Apier will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 9 is going to be a tough 5, and that's going to be a called strike 3. Henderson frozen by the heat, and that will be the first out of the inning. And here's Riles. Riles today is 0 for 2. Apier trying to get out of the inning without any damage. Apier will look into Maine for the sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 10 is going to be a patient 47. And against a righty, Riles will will smack that one into right field, and he's going to have a double. A one-out double for Riles has brought this A's crowd to life. As here's Walt Weiss coming into the batter's box. Weiss is 0 for 2. He's got a pretty good eye, so I think they're going to let him swing. Apier will look over at Riles at second. He'll turn to Maine at the plate. Could Riles try to swipe a bag here? Not with a steal of 4, most likely. No. Apier will look to Maine for the sign. Apier will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is a patient 89, and that's going to be a ground ball over to short. Getting to that, Stillwell will take that one. He'll throw it over to first for the second out. But I believe, let's see, infield is not in. Other situations, runner on third base scores. Runner on second advances when it's fielded by the first base. That was actually hit to short. Riles' run rating is high enough. He will make it to third. 2 outs in the inning, though, for Vance Law. Law today is 0 for 2. Oakland Stadium buzzing. They're hoping for a good hit to get Riles in and give the A's the lead. Apier will get the sign from Maine. He will wind up. He'll set. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be an in-play 38, and it's a ground ball right back to Apier. He will underhand that over to Cromartie at first, and that will retire the side. A double, but the A's can't do anything with it. Score remains tied at 2 after 7. Top of the 8th coming up, and we're going to see a pitching change for the A's. Stewart is going to come out of the game, and coming in to pitch for the A's will be Joe Klink. 10-3 with a 4.35 ERA, 62 innings pitched, 60 hits, 4 homers, 21 walks, and 34 strikeouts in 91. Leading off the top of the 8th for the Royals is Danny Tartabull. Tartabull is 2 for 3 with a single and a home run. Klink knows he's got to be careful with Tartabull. Klink will get the sign from Steinbach. Klink will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be an in-play 61. That's going to be a fly ball into right field. Canseco ranging to his left for that one. He'll make the play for the first out of the inning. And here's Brett. Brett today is 1 for 3 with a single. Klink will get the sign from Steinbach. Klink will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is an in-play 69. It's a ground ball to short. Coming after that one is going to be Weiss. He'll make the play for the second out of the inning. And here's Cromartie. Cromartie today is 0 for 3. Klink hoping for a nice, easy inning. Klink will get the sign from Steinbach. He will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is going to be an in-play 9, and Cromartie will continue the inning against a lefty with a base hit. And that will bring Eisenreich up. Eisenreich today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Klink will look into Steinbach for the sign. Klink will set. Here's the pitch. 5 is a patient. We're going to call that a patient 5. And that's ball 4. Eisenreich. Klink makes a bad pitch, and Eisenreich is going to be at first as Cromartie advances to second on the free pass. And here's Maine. Maine is, Maine today is 1 for 2 with a single, and he's reached on an error. Klink will get the sign from Steinbach. He will set. Here's the pitch. 4 is a ballpark check. 19's wheelhouse, but Maine does not have a lot of power on his wheelhouse card. And a 53 is going to be a ground ball to third. Picking that one up himself is going to be Law. He'll take that over to the bag himself, tag the bag, and that will end the inning. 1 hit and a walk, but the Royals can't do anything with it as we remain tied heading into the bottom of the 8th. And before we start the bottom of the 8th, I will need to change my battery. Kevin Apier is going to come out of the game for the Royals. Coming in to pitch for the Royals will be Mike Magnante. 0-1 with a 2.45 ERA, 55 innings pitched, 55 hits, 3 homers, 23 walks, and 42 strikeouts in 91. He is going to be facing the top of the Oakland order. Leading off the bottom of the 8th for Oakland will be Mike Gallego. Gallego tonight is 0 for 3. He's struck out twice. Magnante will look in to Maine for the sign. Magnante will set. Here's the pitch. 7 is a patient 61. And against a lefty, Gallego will find that to be ball 4, and he'll reach on with a leadoff walk. Here's Terry Steinbach. Steinbach is 0 for 3 tonight. Gallego is not a threat to steal. The infield will go to double play depth. Steinbach will wait for the pitch from Magnante. Magnante will get the sign from Maine. Magnante will set. He'll glance to Gallego at first. Magnante will kick. Here's the pitch. 6 is going to be a tough 37. And against the lefty, Steinbach will get a hold of that one, and that's going to be a double. That'll be a grounder down the line into left field. All runners score. Gallego will score. Steinbach will end up at second on the double. Score is now 3-2. 3-2 in favor of Oakland. Stadium cheers. Yay! That's going to be a D9. Okay. Steinbach comes in to score. And I think everybody knows the call that the Oakland manager is making to the bullpen right now. Starting to get loose is the last name Kansas City fans want to hear getting loose. That would be Dennis Eckersley. Coming into to bat now, though, is Jose Canseco. Canseco is 2 for 3 with a single and a homer. Magnante looking very nervous right now. The Royals haven't trailed yet in this game. They are now. Magnante will look over to Steinbach at second. Turn back to Canseco. Magnante will get the sign from Maine. He will set. Here's the pitch. 12 is a wheelhouse 82. And Canseco is going to ground that one to short. That will be Stillwell getting to that one. He'll fire over to first for the first out. But Steinbach will make third on the sacrifice hit. So Canseco will make the first out of the inning. But that will force the infield in. As here's Ricky Henderson. Henderson today is 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and a stolen base. The infield is playing in to try to keep Steinbach from scoring. Magnante will look into main for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6 is a tough 41, and just at the top of Henderson's range, but he'll swing through, he'll get a piece of the fastball that'll jump right back into Maine's glove, and that will be the second out of the inning on the foul tip. And here's Baines. Baines today is 0 for 3. 3-2 Oakland, bottom of the 8th. Dennis Eckersley warming up for Oakland. Magnante will look in at Maine for the sign. Magnante will set. Here's the pitch. 11 is a defense check. Somebody's got to play defense for Kansas City. That ball is hit the shortstop. Going after that one is going to be Stillwell on an error check. His error rating is a 2. He was prone to making some errors out there. And he'll make an error on this one, and that'll be a 2-base error. Baines will be at second. Steinbach will score on the E6. That was a costly error. As Steinbach will score, and it is now 4-2 in favor of the A's. Stadium cheers. Yay! And now here's Dave Henderson coming into the batter's box. Dave Henderson tonight is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk, but he's also struck out. Magnante will look into Maine for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 4 is an in-play 64. It's a ground ball to third. Getting to that one is going to be Pacoda. He'll throw it across the diamond for the out, and that will retire the side. 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 hit, a walk, and a very costly 2-base error, and the score is now 4-2 in favor of the Athletics after 8. Top of the 9th, and in probably the least shocking news, we're going to have a pitching change for Oakland. Joe Klink is going to come out of the game for Oakland, and coming in to pitch will be Dennis Eckersley. And in other news, the sky is blue, grass is green, and the sun is hot. 5-4 with a 2.96 ERA, 76 innings pitched, 60 hits, 11 homers, 9 walks, 87 strikeouts, and 43 saves. In this postseason, he's already got a save and a win in this postseason. And he's got a hold, a save, and a win. So he'll be the backstop charged with trying to get this game over with for Oakland and get the A's a 1-0 series lead. In order to get that, he's got to go through the bottom of Kansas City's order. Leading off the top of the 9th for the Royals is Brian McRae. McRae is 1 for 3 with a single. Eckersley will look into Steinbach for the sign. Eckersley will set. Here's the pitch. 9 is a tough 87. That'll be a ground ball over to short. Getting to that one is going to be Weiss. He'll throw it over to first for the first out of the inning. Here's Schumpert. Schumpert tonight is 0 for 3. Eckersley, listening to the buzz at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Eckersley will look into Steinbach for the sign. He will set. Here's the pitch. 8 is a tough 83. That's going to be another ground ball to short. Once again, we're going to call Weiss's name. He'll throw that one as well over to first for the second out of the inning. And the last chance for the Royals in Game 1 comes down to Kurt Stillwell. Stillwell tonight is 0 for 4. He struck out and grounded out 3 times, but he reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. Oakland, 1 out away from taking Game 1 of the ALCS. Royals looking to extend it. Eckersley will get the sign from Steinbach. He will set. Oakland Alameda County Coliseum on their feet, hoping for a good pitch. Eckersley will kick. Here's the pitch. 8 is going to be a tough 94. It's a fly ball into left field. Coming under that one is going to be Ricky Henderson, ranging in for it a little bit, but he'll stop. He'll put his glove out, blop, and the ball falls into it. That's your game. The Oakland Athletics have taken Game 1 of the American League Championship Series from the Kansas City Royals by a final score of 4-2. Final line score coming up. Just finishing up with my last. Okay, no hits, nothing there. Okay. Wait. Yeah. For the A's, 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. For the Royals, 2 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. Winning pitcher tonight is going to be Dave Stewart. Kevin Apier will take the loss. Dennis Eckersley will get the save. And Joe Klink will be credited with a hold. As the Oakland Athletics take the lead in this American League Championship Series, 1-0. And that will do it for Game 1 of the ALCS. Still busy on the channel coming up. Wednesday, we're playing Zero Leader from DVG. Thursday, we're going to have Game 1 of the NLCS between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mike Morgan will be going for the Dodgers, and Doug Drabeck will be going for the Pirates. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Fallout Official Vault Dwellers Cookbook with the drink Deezer's Lemonade. And Sunday, we'll be playing Mag 23 Guadalcanal. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.